Did you know there was a time before color TVs, before cell phones, and before the World Wide Web that a simple game took everybody's imagination and excitement on Friday nights? It was the game of basketball, perhaps the one thing that could pull a community together like nothing ever before. In the 1950s, there was a coach around here that began winning games and county championships. He bred excitement and enthusiasm throughout this small community. That man was Pleasant High School's new basketball coach, Stan Kirby. A man small in size, but large in stature. You'd see kids all across the county getting caught up in this frenzy of hot gyms, cheerleaders, and screaming fans, all rooting for a home team victory. Why, you'd see boys around here shooting baskets on barn wall rims, or even a tree, all hoping someday they could be a part of this intoxicating emotion of excitement. This new coach knew how to win games and decimate opponents, and win games he did. For the next 32 years, Coach Kirby climbed the ladder of outstanding achievement as a coach, even to become inducted into the Ohio High School Basketball Hall of Fame. And if that's not enough, he won a state championship. This is his story, Memories of a Coach.
In 1965, he took a team to the regional finals. At that time, there were only two divisions, A and AA. No team that small had ever made it that far. Their average height was only 5'10", and they all averaged about 12 points a game. In traditional Kirby style, he had them playing at peak performance when an ankle injury sidelined one of their starting five, and they took a defeat in the regional finals. Otherwise, they would have had a very good chance to go all the way.
As these boys were warming up for their first basketball game, remember, It was just 24 hours earlier that these very same boys won the state football championship. And on a last-second play, defeating Lorraine Clearview.
Wide to the right. The eye behind Fortner with the ends inside the snap. And fumble, and picking up is Jamie Bright. He's at the 20. He's at the 30. He's at the 40. Forget it, friends. He's gone. He is gone. Oh, my gosh. Look at that boy go. And right now, Jamie Bright is the happiest boy in this stadium. That is unbelievable. 95-yard run back on the recovered fumble for Jamie Bright. Oh, that makes it 12-8. Handoff. No! There it is! The fake to Midlam up the middle. Mock goes around the left end. That makes it 14-8, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Roger. A lot worse. 5 seconds time possibly for one play for Lorraine, 14-14. Burrow, wide receiver to the left side, the ends inside for Morton. Burrow is really to the left side. Here's the snap. Fading back is Fortner. He is back to fumble, and Mock got it. He's got it. Mock over the football. Mock going all the way. Fortner fumbled the football on the last play of the game. Mock picked it up and ran back for the TD. 40 yards. 40 yards. Unbelievable. I don't believe it. What a way to win it.
Everybody's down there crying. Look at the coach is down there holding his head. The players are down on the ground. They don't believe what happened.
He rolled back the pass, and just as he brought the arm back, he dropped it. Mock was right there before it touched the ground, picked it up, and ran it back for the TD.
Roger, this is unbelievable. This ball game will get out on the record, but nobody will ever believe this.
I don't believe
50 years from now, how this ball game progressed and how it ended.
They're trying to get the crowd to back off. They have to try for the PAT. They have to try it.
Unbelievable. Nobody can write a story like this. Nobody can make up a story like this.
I don't know.
The first state playoffs in football were held down Ohio Wesleyan, and our guys had a tough game. But they won the state championship on that Friday. But you know what? They weren't done. They had to come back the very next night and play their first basketball game. No practice. Hadn't practiced since the year before, really. And it took them a while, but by the fourth quarter, they put it together and they won that game. Went on to win 25 more games and become the state champions in basketball. And so now they were the first team in the state of Ohio to win both football and basketball in the same year. What an incredible feat that I got to witness. I had so much fun. I can't tell you. Being part of this team, being an assistant coach, what can I say? It was just great.
Here we are playing in St. John Arena. It was like walking into basketball heaven when we played in that place. Terry and I had played here 2 years prior when I was only 15 and he had just turned 16 years old. But this time we came back 2 years later with a much better, stronger attitude, better and stronger physically, and really psyched up to get that championship this time because last time we lost in the finals. So we're playing Mansfield St. Pete now. They're a pretty good team, and we led most of the game and ended up getting the victory out of it. This place held about 16,000 people, and when you walked out there on the floor, you knew you were someplace special. As I watched this video back, this game, I was very fortunate to play with some great athletes, and Terry King and Max Midlam, Scott Ballinger, and Larry Fink. Great guys. We had so much fun. And also, our coaching staff was incredible. Coach Stan Kirby, boy, what a genius when it came to basketball. His assistant Bob Gooker and Doug Lichtenberger, man, oh man, we had a great trio. We were so prepared for each game and they had us in great shape. It was just so much fun playing for those guys. Watching this film really brings back warm memories. Coach Kirby and Coach Lichtenberger and a few of the fellows, we still get together pretty much almost every year for lunch, dinner, or sometimes we'll go to a basketball game together. But I look at those guys as family, like my second father. I don't know, can't say enough good things. Those guys have held a very special place in my heart for all these years.
Were so gallantly streaming
Doug and I would like to share and read the names of the deceased basketball players that left the game too soon. The first is Cheryl Buss Leffler,
Dick Dutt,
John Wood,
Dennis Rice,
Bill Baker,
Eddie Mack,
Joe Peacock,
David Townsend,
Dave Harris,
Dave Keller,
Gary Mock,
Dan Landon,
Mike Landon,
Kyle Stanley,
Chris Ballinger,
Keith Street,
Coach Bob Gooker,
Coach Don Kay,
Coach Larry Wilcox,
Coach Tim Cook.
Very special to him. It's very special to us as a family. Thank you so much, Doug. Thank you so much, Dave, and all the rest of you that have had a part in putting this together. We are grateful. My father is here tonight, Stanley, and he didn't graduate from Pleasant. He went all the way through Prospect. And
We traveled the furthest distance to get here tonight. We got Colorado, we got Florida, we got Virginia, we got 3 miles north of Waldo. Next we have, is there a player here tonight who was on Coach Kirby's first team in 1955? We got two? We got two of them? Well, give it to Bob Little and John Peacock. Give John Peacock a hand for being so gracious. There's a team player right there. That's a team player. Before the Pleasant mascot was a Spartan, what was the mascot and what year was it retired? You said Panda. I'll let you go. Now, what year? What year?
I don't know that. I don't. 1961.
Give me a year. Year?
1961 or 2.
He said 1961 or 62. Not correct. 60 what? John Peacock. Hey, John does win something. Get it to John. Isn't that something how the Lord works things out? This man deserved it to start with. Now he gets it. Congratulations.
I know that because my brother was on the very first football team in 1963.
Yes, and I'm the last Panda. Yes, John.
Great grandson who's 5 or 6 weeks old. He's going to enjoy this, I'll tell you.
Your great-grandson?
Great grandson.
That's a real panda right there. Well, is there a cheerleader here that cheered during the panda era? We got 1, we got 2. Here.
When I graduated.
Yes. You're, say it a little louder.
58.
Doesn't she sound pretty? Yeah, 58. And Ruth Ann, what were you? What year?
57.
I didn't ask your weight. I just asked what year did you graduate, Ruth? Can you do?
I think 65. 55.
55.
Wait, when did I graduate?
57.
Give me the mic back.
55.
50. You won't give the mic back, Dave. I've lost control. And you live where?
I was probably Mr. Kirby's doghouse a lot. But I remember one particular time we were playing Bucyrus. I fouled out an overtime. And I didn't remember the name, but I had a comment to the official. And After the game, Mr. Kirby pulled me out into the hallway, and he said, "You're going to go in and apologize to those officials." I said, "No, I'm not going to do that." And he goes, "Yes, you are, because if you don't do that, you're not playing another game." And so he escorted me to the room, knocked on the door, I went in, and politely apologized to those two officials. 15 years later, I had to do the exact same thing. And I remember that. So it was such a learning experience for me to make all
running back out there. Me and Trent are up on the stage. We're just laughing it up, right? We're busting the gut, laughing at each other. He comes back over. I'm high-fiving him for blocking the shot. I'm laying back. I'm just laughing. I'm just giggling. Coach says, "Get on the line." So Trent has these big old waders on, running lines with these waders on. I didn't get a chance to put my shoes on, so I'm in my socks, right? He wouldn't even let me put my shoes back on. He made me get on the line and run, and he ran us to our tongues about ready to fall out. I'll never forget that as long as I live. I truly appreciate that now as a grown man. So, Coach, thank you for all the time that was away from your beautiful family. Truly appreciate it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
What a fantastic assembly of former players and admirers of Coach Kirby. Having said that, let's give a big round of applause to the organizers of this event, Dave Mock and Doug. I'm so grateful to be here tonight to honor Coach Kirby. When I played, I always thought it was about the wins and losses that were so important, but it wasn't. It was the practices, Coach, and the camaraderie with the teammates that was so meaningful. What I didn't know back then were the skills and life values we all would gain from Coach Kirby while playing for him, including teamwork, self-discipline, perseverance, hard work, and sportsmanship. Coach, you taught us to embrace challenges and always to give our best. So in honor of those values, and on behalf of myself and the legacy of players here tonight, I present this autographed basketball to you as a tribute for the 31 years you coached at Pleasant. And happy birthday to an upcoming 100th birthday.
You're good. You sure?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Love you, buddy.
Mr. Kirby's 4 decades of coaching at Pleasant High School has left a legacy of coaches, a son coaching in Florida, a nephew coaching in the Springfield area, and 6 former players coaching varsity teams throughout Ohio. It is well documented that studies have shown that one of the greatest influences in the life of a young person is his or her coach. For me, this is absolutely true. Besides my Heavenly Father and my earthly father, Mr. Kirby has influenced me more than any other man in this world. I'm certain that others touched by him would also echo my sentiments. I see Mr. Kirby as a true artist in the likes of Beethoven and Rembrandt. Instead of using a piano and notes or paintbrush and palette, he used 2 spheres attached to fiberglass 10 feet off the floor and 10 to 12 young men. To be able to watch this artist create in the gym over the years has truly been a fantastic experience for me. I love Coach Kirby, and I thank the Lord for the opportunity to have been coached by him and then have the blessing of coaching with him for over 20 years.
In presenting Mr. Kirby, I'm deeply honored to represent those hundreds of players that have been touched by Mr. Kirby over his 30-year career. Now, I give you Coach Kirby.
I really appreciate all the people that showed up here and all the hard work that's been done to put this together. And I guess mostly all the hard work you guys basically put in during the years. You just worked hard for me, and I think that's what made you successful. I guess I wanted to say that I go back so far that you guys won't believe it, but when I started playing, you tossed the ball up after every basket. You went back to the center court and tossed the ball up. In the first game I played in, I've been over, ready to get that tip if I can. The guy behind me just puts his hand right on top of my head. Well, there's only one official. He's throwing the ball up so they get by with that. Well, that happened twice.
It happened the third time.
About the third time, I had to. That ended that. I don't know why I had to tell you that, but that's back 100 years ago almost. Sometimes I think, well, I probably worked those guys too hard.
Oh, no.
And I thought, oh, gosh. Well, now I have a lady that comes in at 9 o'clock every morning and sees that I've getting breakfast and takes care of me, like doing the dishes and doing all those little things. And she goes into the Y at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then she'll run 5 to 8 miles before she comes to work at 9 o'clock. And she's fresh as a daisy. And I think, man, if she can do that, I didn't work those kids too hard. I never ran them that much. You guys, you've left me a lot of good memories, a lot of things that I came up tonight that people have mentioned to me, and I appreciate it. The thing I'm disappointed in the most is I can't hear. I couldn't, some of these, whether anybody told any lies tonight, because I couldn't hear them well enough to know.
I think there might have been a couple stretched. Truth stretched, maybe a little.
I can't even hear him.
No lies, but the truth was maybe stretched a little.
Oh, okay. Is that what you call a white lie? Whatever. I won't sleep at night for a week now, because these things will come back to my mind, and I'll think about them, and I'll bring back memories, and May shed a few tears.
Oh.
But I just it's been a fun almost 100 years, and I'd never dreamed it'd be anything like this. And you guys are the effort's been put into this, the effort you put into practice. The wives and mothers and dads that put time in for you guys, it's just been amazing. And I'm gonna, if you got any questions or anything you want to ask to talk to me about, I appreciate it, but I'm gonna sit down because all I'm doing is getting in deeper.
Coach.
Yeah.
Standing ovation.
Wow. I don't need any help.
Okay, now for the moment that we've all waited for. Get this on film.
Long after the sounds of squeaky tennis shoes on a basketball court, long after cheering fans, and long after congratulatory cheers in a steamy locker room, and long bus rides home on wintry nights are all a thing of the past. The only thing left are lingering memories.
I was, that summer after I graduated, I was dating the girl who turned out to be my wife. I was dating her, and you know how these girls are. They don't want to lose you, but they don't know what to do about it. So we were talking about getting married. She said, well, I think we ought to get married maybe in December or January. I said, no, we either get married now or we put it off till the next summer. Because I knew I had a teaching school was going to take all my, and coaching was going to take all my knowledge and energy and everything else.
Sure.
So I, now where am I in the story? So we ended up eloping.
Oh, okay.
Her dad and mother, she wasn't 21 yet. And her dad and mother wouldn't let her get married till she was 21. So I thought, well, we could go to Indiana, take her blood test, come back, got that, and went back the next week or 2 weeks, I don't know what. And so we eloped, and I got back in time. I had one of my jobs was to be assistant football coach. That was 8-man football.
Yeah.
And so I took that. I don't know where I'm in my story now.
Okay, I want to know how you got to Pleasant.
Okay, so I'm carrying mail. I'm just loving that. You know, I'm done at noon and so forth. Doc McClaskey, you all know where Doc McClaskey lives.
Do.
Well, that overlapped. My mail route went up that far, and then I stopped and came back south. And so he was on my mail route, but he only got an occasional piece because he got most of it out of Marion, because the Marion route came down the same place.
Okay.
So he could get mail either way. So Doc McClaskey was on my mail route, and one day he stops me right there at the mailbox. Says, "Hey, Kirby, when do you get done to this job?" I said, "Oh, I get done about before noon or something like that." "Well, won't you come up and teach for us?" I said, "What do you mean?" he said, well, school started. It was in the 1st of October. He said, when the school year, this year we're 3 teachers short. If you'd come up here and teach a math class and a history class, I don't know what the third thing was, we'd hire you, and we'd hire you till January when Ohio State has a graduating class, and then we'll find somebody. I said, well, I don't think I'm allowed to do that. So I went and talked to the postmaster and mistress, and she said, well, they've used that up. You used to had a government job, you couldn't have a second job. So I said, what do you mean? She said, well, I think it'd be a wonderful way for you to use your talent.
This is a postmaster.
That was a pretty quick answer.
Yeah.
So I think about it a little bit. So I got to get done and get back to Pleasant. So there was 3 afternoon classes.
Okay.
And that's what I did for a couple of years. And that's right. I had told the Lord when I quit at Clarendon, if He ever wanted me to teach, give me a job at Pleasant.
Oh, really?
And I hated Pleasant. You know, we hated Pleasant.
Well, why'd you want to teach there then?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'd said. I said, Lord, give me a job. That way I'll know if you give me a job at Pleasant, if I should go back to teaching, give me a job at Pleasant. Well, you know, I never entered my head again for, a year or so that I was ever going to teach again. But when Doc McCloskey, then I got to thinking, well, that's kind of what I asked for.
Yeah.
But if I was supposed to teach again, I'd have a job at Pleasant. So, with all the finishing, let Brobeck go, and they offered me the head job. And I said, I can't do that. I'm carrying mail. Oh, just keep coming 3 days, for 3 periods. And I think the state, somehow I could do it for 3 periods and still be a part of the school system.
What year was that?
Well, I think it was 72 or 3, huh?
Was that 54?
Oh, 50, yeah. I started that in 54.
You started coaching at Pleasant in 1954.
Yeah, as just junior. Then the next year I was head coach. So I was head coach.
Do you remember some of the players' names the first year that you coached?
Bus Leffler.
Oh, Bus Leffler was one of your first players?
He was a sophomore.
Uh-huh.
And I think, and his brother was a junior. And Pete Owings. I don't really remember him.
Yeah.
Bob Lill.
Okay.
Huh? That's 4, I don't think, my first year. And so I can remember one of the first games we played was over in Morrow County. It wasn't Mount Gilead, but it was another team. And I'll say my first game, I could have been my second, but we were down at halftime. And those guys come down to the locker room, and they were expecting a good ball out. And I said, hey, we're doing fine. Just do what you've been doing. You're starting to, you're shooting like you're really tight. So just relax and let it fly. You know, when you're open, you're open. And I think I made a change in defense. We come back and whipped them. And those kids were just kind of, when I didn't get on them, they were kind of, what's the matter with this guy?
Yeah.
But that's how it all mostly started.
Uh-huh.
Then we had
along that time frame.
Doug Lickenbrigger was a halfway decent kid.
But not a good ball player?
Yeah, well, he was
a
better ball player than he was a kid.
Oh, okay.
I have to tell you, but he played. Was there 5 seniors on the team when you played?
Yeah. No, George.
Did George? Did I lie good enough?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't remember all those things. I just know that I was probably. I think back. Oh, was I too tough on those kids? I shouldn't have said that to them. I shouldn't have done that. But you just coach according to your personality, and you do what you think's right at the time. And you can look back years later and say, I probably didn't have to do that. But then I think, well, if I hadn't, maybe it wouldn't have turned out as good as it did. So maybe a month later, maybe 3 months later, I ran into that coach.
Oh.
And he says, I'm not speaking to you, Kirby. You know, something like that. And I said, what's the matter? He said, you wouldn't let us run our offense. I thought that's about the dumbest thing a coach could say. That was the idea. That's the idea of the game. And I remember how they entered the ball down the left side, and they got it to this guy. Then when he got the ball, the offense started. And we took away that pass.
Shut them off.
And
Shut it
the
down.
whole team was shut down.
Box, how important was winning to you?
Was what?
Winning. Was winning everything to you?
Well, as long as you did it within the rules, and as long as you got it by hard work. And I just found this out, you know, after I was, what I might say, done coaching. I thought every coach worked hard. I thought every coach did all these things about teaching the kids. And I found out they did. A lot of these guys just kind of went out there and threw the ball out. I'm over exaggerating that, but
yeah,
they didn't really. We worked hard. I worked hard as a coach.
We worked hard as
That's
players.
Right. Because you guys knew that it paid off.
You worked us hard.
We won, huh?
You worked us real hard.
Pardon?
You worked us real hard.
And because Graham Jones, Dave Townsend, Charlie Huber, Larry Midlam, and Gary.
Gary, yeah.
And that was a good unit. I think that was the kids that I think when they were seniors, or when that five graduated, Gary was still playing. I think that when you added up their points at the end of the year, there was either 5 or 7 points from the top man to the lowest man.
Yeah.
That's how even they scored.
Yeah.
It's just anybody could score. And I remember Charlie Huber, we were down to Big Walnut, I believe, and one of the tournament games. Charlie shot one from the corner with like 10 seconds left, missed it, went around the man, went in and laid it out, and it won the game. Do you remember that, Doug?
I was in college.
But that was, that was just a fundamental thing. Shot from the corner, the guy went up to block it, he went around him, got his rebound, laid it out. Just things like that.
Yeah. Well, Coach, as I look back, I know from my standpoint, it was a lot of fun to play in the big games, like when the Coliseum was filled up. When the bus would pull in, you could hardly get a parking spot. We'd walk in and the Coliseum was filled, or playing in St. John Arena. We played in that 4 times with a sold-out crowd. But as I look back, I had just as much fun in practice with you.
You remember Merton Porter?
Sure.
Merton told me one time, he said, I think back about his plan, he said, I had as much fun in practice as I did in the games, or more so.
And that's where you finally got, didn't you? You got to a point where you loved practices.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I never enjoyed those games. Yeah. But I loved practicing, partly because
that's cool.
You didn't have any dead wood on there that didn't want.
That we're playing, and by Wednesday or Thursday of the week that we play on Friday or Saturday night, you had a game plan, and that game plan was our roadmap to success or victory. And it seemed like every game we had some kind of game plan to follow, and you worked us on that throughout the whole week.
And it usually worked. You know what I mean? It usually, but as time went on, I didn't do a lot of scouting. Doug did a lot of the scouting, and so he could tell me what this team does, and what they don't do, and what their weaknesses are.
Let me ask my question now, David.
Huh?
My question, the state final game, how did you know to run a zone?
Well, okay, if you remember right, we had played this man for man all year.
Yes.
starting the
But
very...
we practiced the zone a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we were basically man for man.
Yep.
And so I think the last game of the season, we either lost or won by 98 to 90, or 90 to 98 to 88, I think. Or something like that. And I said, we can't play defense like that.
Play a zone in the finals against Union Valley South?
Yeah.
Did we?
And we shut down
Van Henry.
Van Henry from 27 points to 4. And normally you would have put me on him. You would have put me on Van Henry.
You were on him.
And I was.
We were zone.
We played a little bit of man that game. But we played zone.
We played a little, and he'd scored a lot of points the game before.
Yes.
And
you decided.
But what I'm getting at is, I think we basically we went to zone that year because Doug would scout these teams. Is that the year? And I'd say, well, what do they do against man for man? Well, Coach, I don't know. The team that they played was all zone. But this is what they do against the zone. So then we adjusted our zone
I thought you
for that team. He scouted, and this is the way I remember it all.
Yeah.
And he'd come back, and I always ask him, what they do against the man for man? Well, Coach, I don't know. They played the other team they were played all zone. So he knew what they did against the zone, so we just applied our zone to stop that offense.
We beat a team that had won 51 straight. It worked.
And we put the half-court press on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah. Yeah, it's 2 years.
I'll have you know, when we took the lead, you had taken me out of the game, and Greg Guy went in. So we got to give Greg Guy some credit.
Okay, I don't
because he
remember that.
came off. Well, I do. I mean, I was out there. I was gassed, and when we took the lead in the second half, Greg Guy went in and gave us some kind of spark because we took the lead, and then you put me back in, and we never lost the lead. But it was something about that zone. It was something about that press.
I think the press really caught him.
Yeah.
I never really looked at that film to dissect it. I just
So let's.
Of course, you had years and years and years of games. I just had a few that were memorable for me. I did not gauge my games in how many points I scored. I gauged my games in memorable fouls. I put as much football in the game as I could, and still, Gooker let me foul out in the first half.
Union Valley South was a great team coached by Charlie Huggins. They had won 51 games in a row and 2 state championships back-to-back. They would prove to be a tough opponent, but we came from behind to capture the lead at the end of the game. These boys respected and loved playing for Coach Kirby. This group was like watching poetry in motion. They were so talented and had quite a work ethic. Scott and Max were both state track champions. Co-captain Dave and Terry set a work ethic that just made everyone else better. I remember Coach Kirby having to kick those two out of the gym every night. They just would not stop playing one-on-one.